All right, I'd like to call this Planning and Zoning Board of Adjustments March 23rd, 2010 meeting to order. Roll call of members. My name is Brad Walker, Chairman, present. Jim Cecil, Vice Chairman.
Present.
Mr. Tyler Glue.
Present.
Mr. Milton Cluott.
Present.
Mr. Bill Lee.
Present.
Ms. Kathy DeSater, absent. Mr. Stephen McGowan, absent. Okay. At this time, I'd like to make an announcement on the agenda. There was a zoning review 2066.10 for the Pelican Point community, Pelican Point properties. That has been removed from the agenda. So if you're here for that item is no longer going to be heard tonight. All right. Next thing is acceptance of the minutes. Do I hear a motion? To accept the minutes?
I move the minutes be accepted
Second.
as amended.
There was some corrections, so I got a motion to approve the minutes with the corrections being submitted. Second.
Yes, I second it, Mr. Chairman.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No opposition. Next, do I have a motion for the written decisions?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Tyler Glue, second by Mr. Milton Cluott. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those against? Motion passed. Oh, I guess let's skip the public. I'd like to open public comment period. This is for if you have anything to say for or against the board. You will get a chance for each of these items. If you have something for the item, please wait until that item. But if anybody would like to come up and speak, open public comment period. Since nobody's coming up, we'll close public comment period. And we'll start with the first zoning review. With zoning review ID 2065.10, Lot B, a portion of the Nelson J. Gotro tract for Chris Piku, located on the south side of Nelly Road, approximately 400 feet east of LA 44. Is there anybody here?
Yes, James Falgu representing Mr. Chris PQ on the following simple division with a variance. We're asking for variance on the trailer encroaching over the 20-foot building line. And I think the setback of the existing house too, on Lot 8-1. The existing trailer on Lot 8-1 will be moved if it hadn't been moved out already.
The house, it is encroaching on the,
No, it's not over the 20-foot drainage, 12-foot drainage strip.
it's not?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. It was existing at 15-foot, and they dog-legged it 12-foot when all the property was subdivided back in '98, I believe it was.
Okay. And you say the trailer on lot A1 will be removed?
Yes, sir.
It was not, I
I
visited,
haven't rode by there this week. So
no, I visited the site yesterday, and it has not been moved since
It
yesterday.
will be moved. Before
Okay.
this plat gets signed, it will be moved off.
Okay.
The property, yes, sir. The person in the trailer, I know they a month ago they signed a 30-day that they were supposed to move within 30 days. So I don't know if it's been into 30 days yet.
Is he the owner of the trailer?
No, the Piku family owns the existing lot, Lot A, and they're purchasing the Lot 81, the 81 feet addition to it. Eventually, the shed and the house is all going to be tore down.
Okay,
Yes,
so we're just looking at,
Yeah,
Getting
there's
a
somebody
variance?
living. Lot B was there's two trailers in the shed existing on those two lots.
right,
One of the trailers will be moved. Somebody is living in there now, but it's supposed to be moved out the way. Before the plat will be signed, it will be moved.
So you're asking for variance on the trailer on lot B1, right?
That's correct. The trailer towards the back of the property, that's the east side, will be staying.
how long has that trailer been there?
I would say at least 98.
1998?
1998, I would think so, yeah. It probably got moved in before. It's not recent. I would assume that right after 1998, when the property was divided, they moved on to.
Okay.
Okay, so there's no issues on the lot A1. It's just the B1 too close to the road.
Okay.
Any more discussion?
Nope.
Open public.
I'd like to open public hearing. Please come up to the front and sign if anybody has anything to say about this variance. With nobody being seen, we'll go ahead and close public hearing for this variance. Do I have a motion?
I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve. We're talking 10 foot. The trailer's been there since 1998. And it looks like there's going to be a lot of development on this particular property. So he's, with that in mind, he's going to have to go by the rules and regulations. So I go ahead and approve as written.
I'll second.
Okay, got a motion to approve as written by Mr. Jim Cecil and a second by Ms. Tyler Glue. All those in favor?
And
Aye.
that, excuse me, that would be contingency that the trailer on lot A1 is removed in 30 days according to the request.
Yeah, that's because that was part of the variance request.
Right. If we,
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next zoning review ID is 2067.10, Lot 1-A-2-A, portion of the Elma Smith property for James Martinez, located on the south side of LA Highway 931, approximately 1,100 feet west of Roddy Road. Anybody else? Are you speaking on that one also?
Got 3 of them today.
Cool.
Boy, aren't we lucky.
You're a busy man.
First time in a couple of years, I think I've been here, probably at least. Okay. I'm representing Mr. Martinez and the family on this following simple division. The existing house it was encroaching over the property line. It's been like that for quite a few years. We're asking to instead of moving the property line 20 feet back, then clear that line. We're asking for variance to go over that 20 foot. It was brought to my attention today that the 3 foot wasn't good enough with the fire protection. The line has been moved and it is on this plat, so it should be clear of all the fire codes.
So no, that will be 5 feet from the end of the overhang of the house to the property line.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I advised it probably about 10 minutes ago, 10, 20 minutes ago.
Now, the only problem with this one right here, I have a little safety issue.
Mm-hmm.
Fire rating. Is it going to meet the fire rating?
Yeah, that's what the 5 foot is.
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah.
Lance, would you comment on that, please?
Yes, sir. The 5 feet will meet the requirements of the fire rating of not having to be fire rated. So 5 feet will meet that requirement.
Okay.
And that would be to the overhang like James stated.
I have no more questions.
I agree, Mr. Chairman. I don't have any questions.
Okay. This time I'd like to open public hearing. If you have anything to say for or against this zoning variance, please come to the podium. Okay. Close public hearing. Do I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we accept this variance, that the back property line at the house would be, setback line would be 5 foot from the property line, and granting the variance.
I'll second.
As long as we meet the fire code.
Yes, add that as long as the fire codes are met.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Got a motion from Mr. Milton about a motion to as written. Isn't it as written? Second by Mr. Bill Lee. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
It's got one more.
Next zoning review ID is 2068.10, Lot T, a portion of the Felix Terrio property for Ruben Terrio, located on the west side of LA Highway 1, approximately 350 south of Felix Terrio Road. This one's yours also?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're a busy man.
I'm representing the Terrio family on this simple division. We're asking for a variance for the existing wooden houses encroaching over the building line. The house has been there quite a
Long
number
time.
of years.
This must be your specialty, making lines go around the houses.
Okay. Here we go again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Mr. Safety, I guess. Okay. Does this house sustained any damage, or is there anything wrong with this house that should be?
I think it's presently being renovated. No damage. No, it's not a
So
abandoned
we're
house or
okay.
anything.
So if we,
And it's off the 12-foot utility servitude, so it's not encroaching. It's
And the house has been there approximately how long?
yeah.
Okay, it was a little,
There was no building law.
never mind.
yes, sir. I discussed it with the owner, and I visited the site, and
there
he
a road
told me it was
there where
about
the house
50
was
years
built?
it'd been there.
Was there a road there when the house was built?
I asked him if it was a blacktop road at the time.
They used the canal.
I don't have any further questions.
I don't have any further questions either.
All right, open up for a public hearing. Anybody wants to say anything for or against this variance, please come to the podium. I'm going to close public hearing since there's no comments. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the variance as written.
I second it.
All right, got a motion by Mr. Tyler Glue to approve as written, second by Mr. Jim Cecil. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank y'all. You have a
Motion
good evening.
approved. All right, moving right along. It's going to be somebody new this time. Zoning Review ID 2069.10, Lot B for Cypress Lake Hospital, located on north side of Ascension Parish Highway 929, approximately 900 feet east of Airline Highway.
Hello. My name is Rep Mouton, and I'll be representing the animal hospital today. We're requesting a variance for the parking situation over there, and we wanted to let everyone know that we had money in place for contingency plans, but this particular parking issue was something that kind of popped up on us as an extra $20,000 to $30,000 expense that we were not prepared for, mainly because we had bought the property from a previous business. So I guess we had presumed that the previous business was already up to code on things like that. So we had a few extra things, such as having to install a fire hydrant out in front, and then having to pave this parking lot. We spent a good amount of money getting the actual facility up to and even above code. And we look forward in serving the community and providing a very high level of medical care for the animals and for the community around here. We're asking for this variance only for about 18 months so that we can get some working capital going. And we have actually, inside the budget, already included two handicap spaces that are up to fire code, the handicap doors, and actual handicap parking spaces that will be poured. So that will be in place so that anybody who is disabled will be able to have access to the facility.
Okay, you explained 18 months.
Yes, sir.
18 months to gain capital?
Yes, sir.
Question, how many entrances on the highway do y'all have?
Right now, the way it's shaped, there are two entrances. It's kind of like in a horseshoe shape right now, as far as one entrance and one exit on either side of a ditch.
Okay, and so
Do you have any kind of plot plan
Yes, sir. I have it.
available? Because we don't have a whole lot here except for a plat.
Yes, sir. We have the plans here.
I have,
Now, is gravel going onto the road right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here again, this is what I have a little concern about. You know, in the past we've had people that was installing these gravel driveways, and we require to install dust-free.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here's what I'm getting down to. What's an acceptable time?
We're asking for 18 months, but we honestly hope to have it done before then. We just wanted some padding in order to actually get it in place. But to be perfectly honest with you, sir, we're hoping to have it done before that 18 months is up. Within a year, preferably.
Mr. Chairman.
What about
You have presented to Mr. Laverne Bourgeois, the building department, the locations of the handicap parking, right?
Yes, sir.
It's not shown. I visited the site and it's not there yet.
Okay.
And if you pour it, where would that be located at? In what port of that? Would you come see?
Yes, sir. Sure. And this has actually changed since the last one that we printed out. But if you see here, right now this indicates that it's on this side area right here that comes around. But we changed it to directly in front. This barn door right here will no longer be there. There's going to be a glass front with a large handicap accessible door. We're going to have everything poured and paved up to code for handicap entryway in the front with 2 handicap parking spaces. And we do plan that. We do have that in the budget. That will be implemented.
In your budget, do you have? Go ahead.
Well, one of the things
question.
that we've done before with several places is, what about as far as just concrete aprons where the road, where the highway, where the entrance to your facility that meets the highway. So therefore, that gravel doesn't extend onto the highway; it'll extend onto your concrete aprons right there.
If that's what you require, then we have to do to make sure.
Well, it's not necessarily what we're saying we require. We just say, you've been talking about your budget. I'm trying to be lenient on your budget too. Okay. So, but yet, in the past we've dealt with this, and these are the problems that we've come up with because we don't want gravel on the road.
With the concrete aprons, we can probably increase it to like 24 months as opposed to 18 months. Just
Mr.
as long
Chairman.
as we're eliminating the rocks on the highway.
Part of the existing drive is concrete already. And are you planning on leaving that?
Yes, sir.
You plan on leaving that in place?
When you first come in, I see what you're doing now. When you first come in, it does have that concrete, and then it turns into gravel as it goes.
Right, but on both sides,
Both sides.
or just one side?
No.
I'm not sure. Is it?
I believe on the left-hand side, yes, there is already one in place.
And then on the
Okay,
right-hand side, it's gravel.
but we would require both sides to, like both entrances or any entrance to have
it's-
concrete
see,
so
it's
that
not here.
the gravel doesn't get on the road. That's usually the biggest hazard, is the right gravel gets on the road and then hits cars, makes people slide. So it's okay for our residents, but when you got businesses coming in and out, yeah,
See how the gravel's traveling on the highway.
right.
And I don't know if you're like me. I can't stand to have a chip in my windshield, and I like to keep everything off the highway other than vehicles.
I understand that, definitely.
So,
I'm sure that we can make plans to have those concrete aprons installed if that's where you guys
Okay.
you'd be willing to meet with us on that in order to have the variance to extend the amount of time to pave the whole thing over. We do intend to pave the whole thing over.
correct. Okay.
I would suggest that you get with Mr. Laverne Bourgeois and on the actual code requirements to the 2 entrance, concrete entrance. Don't just go pour concrete, and next thing you know, it's not up to code. So get with Mr. Laverne Bourgeois, the building official,
Everything
and
we've done, this is supposed to be, this is intended to be a state-of-the-art medical facility for veterinary purposes. So everything that we've done has been up to code, and we want to make sure that we're doing everything up to code from here on out too. So we'll definitely do that.
Any other questions?
No.
I know, public hearing.
Open public hearing. If anybody has anything to say for or against this item, please come forward. Quiet group tonight. Go ahead and close public hearing, and do I have a motion?
I'd like to go ahead and make the motion, but I'm also making a motion not as written, but motion to accept. I don't like the 24-month thing.
Okay.
I don't really like that. I like to see some progression there because there again, that's what I'm talking about. You're putting this dust-free paving in, and those concrete is going to be part of my requirement of this accepting this variance
Right.
or motion. I'm
I can't
sorry.
write all this. So
Okay. Make a motion to accept. Make a motion to accept to install the dust-free paving within 20 months. Okay, and the same for the concrete protection.
Okay. and
For
what,
the-
what
for
is
the
your
ro-
time? What is your time requirement for the just so I'm sure?
That's 20 months.
20 months also on that.
Yeah, you'd already mentioned 18 months. I'm giving you
Yeah.
2 more months.
That's
but-
fine. That's fine. We have,
I mean, you were talking about.
Well, wait a second. They originally asked for 18 months. Brad, you had said if they go ahead and install the concrete aprons now, you would feel good about extending the 18 months to 24. What you just said is they have 20 months to
For the
do
aprons
both
also.
of them.
put the aprons
So
in.
the aprons
do
ought to
both
be,
of
well, the aprons ought to be 6 months or
Yeah,
so.
the aprons ought to be like
Done now.
3 months.
within 6 months.
That's
Six
why we're
months.
extending it.
Okay. I'll take the
Amend.
motion back.
Amend your motion.
Amend my motion.
There you go.
Seeing how I don't have a second yet. And I agree with that.
Give him some
So
time.
6 months, 6 months for the apron,
6 months?
Yeah,
and 20 for the rest of it.
yeah. Give him some time. Give him some time with
Whatever
the
you want to
aprons.
come up with a motion.
I'll go ahead and make, like I was saying, I'm going ahead and make the motion, and I think everybody agrees on the 6 months for the concrete,
For the apron.
for
Aprons.
the concrete apron.
Aprons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and 24 months for the dust free.
Okay.
There you go.
I'll second that motion.
So
All right.
you got a little bit more extended there.
Appreciate
But
it.
now remember, those concrete aprons has got to go in first.
Sure, no problem. 6 months for
And-
the aprons, 20 months for the rest of the concrete.
And don't
24.
forget, go to Mr. Laverne. Don't just go pour concrete, and the next thing he goes out there and it's not the code, and you got to tear it all up.
Yes, sir.
Get with Mr. Laverne Bourgeois with the building department to get the requirements for that. And you may have to go to the highway, but I think that's a parish road, so he may be able to advise you on that. But get with Mr. Laverne.
Okay, let me read this. We have a motion by Mr. Jim Cecil to accept a 6-month install of the dust-free paving aprons, and then to have the whole thing paved in 20 months,
24 months.
24.
24 months. Okay. Do I have a second by Mr. Milton Cluott? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those against? Motion passes with the conditions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. We got a long list tonight. Zoning review ID 2070.10, Lot B2 for Germany Land Development LLC, located on the southwest corner of LA Highway 44 and Germany Road. Is there anybody here to represent that variance tonight?
Hello, Mr. Chairman. My name is Richard Blackman, District Manager for O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Can you let us know what you're trying to do? And
Mr. Chairman, I visit the site, and the plat that we have right here is a little misconceiving. The back of the existing building that they're asking to extend past from the path of the road in the back, access road in the back, to the back of the family store is 4'6" to that road.
Here to here.
And you're trying to install your building in line with the front of the dollar store, right?
That is what the developers asked for aesthetic purposes to have the
And
building
how
right.
far is it going to extrude past the dollar store in the back?
That I do not know, sir.
That's what I'm saying. It's not clear on this.
Okay, this is what they have provided me.
That's the same
That's the same. Yes, sir. That's the same thing we have.
thing we have.
What is the length of the building?
96 and 33 by,
102? 102.2?
yes, sir.
I don't have the best eyes.
And then you're going to install. Let me ask you something. Your building that you're going to install is 96.33, and the existing building that's there is showing at 102.2. And if you start them in the front, you're not going to exceed the back of their building.
Right.
There again, sir. I cannot answer that question.
Lance, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it looks like it's a little further. The DK Real, I guess that's the Family Dollar, is 100. Was that 102?
Yes, it is.
And then
102.2.
O'Reilly's is 93.
96.33.
Right. So the O'Reilly's or the Family Dollar is a little further back than this one is requesting.
6 feet.
But he's still going to be. What happens is that there's an access servitude along the rear of the property, and recently the council adopted an ordinance that stated that there has to be rear setback also that is for vehicle access. When the Family Dollar was built, that rule was not in place. Now that O'Reilly's is coming or wanting to construct, that rule is in effect, and they have to meet that vehicle access quarter being so far from the access. So what it is that you see there's it says 30-foot shared access along the rear of the property. That's a vehicle access. So they have to be 15 feet from the edge of that servitude, and they won't meet that requirement.
The closest edge.
That's correct. Yes, sir. So that's what the request is. The
So we're only
request
looking at
is for the
4.32
vehicle
feet.
access quarter.
That's all we're looking at.
Yeah,
And we're not looking at any possible.
I don't see any. I don't see any. In other words, actually, the Dollar General store, the Family Dollar store, actually protrudes more than what the O'Reilly Parks would. Am I correct, Lance?
But it doesn't meet.
Yes, sir.
Based on it
Yes.
now.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's grandfathered, so it doesn't matter.
No questions. I have no more
I have
questions.
no further questions.
No questions?
See, you didn't
No,
even have
I'll
to
be
say
quiet
much,
this
did you?
You know, we're kind of quiet. This side is kind of quiet over here.
I was hoping you were gonna ask me about a water pump for a Chevrolet.
Okay, I'd like to open it to public hearing. If anybody has anything to say for or against this project, please come to the podium. Since nobody's coming, we'd like to close public hearing. Do I hear a motion?
I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to accept, due to the unique circumstance here. One, too many rules and regulations has changed, so, hey,
Accept as written.
accept as written.
Do I hear a second?
I got a second
I'll
over here.
second.
Second by Mr. Milton. Okay, I got a motion by Mr. Jim to accept as written, and a second by Mr. Milton Cluott. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, thank you, Ward.
All right. Next zoning review ID 2071.10, Lot 1A of the Peter Malcuso property for Betty Malcuso, located on the north side of Merritt Evans Road, approximately 1,700 feet east of Highway 44.
Ellen Jackson with McLean and Associates, representing the Macaluso property. We're asking for a variance of 5.5 feet, simply because originally when this went before the Planning Commission, they required us to do an additional access servitude, and you have to be 25 feet off of the access servitude, so that put us encroaching into the existing residence, so we're asking for a variance.
Any questions?
In other words, you're going to move the access road over.
We're not going to move the road at all. It's just a requirement for the Planning Commission to just give additional access. But
That's not what. That's not how I'm interpreting it when I visit the site.
They're gonna move
I
the
looked
road?
at it, and then according to the map, you're moving the entrance over.
we're not.
Look
moving-
like the driveway, the stone driveway is going to remain in place, and then you're actually adding a new one,
we're not
looking
gonna-
at the property to the right, and then it angles at the house.
We're not going to add any. We just increasing it because that's what the Planning Commission wanted. They're not going to use that access. It's just,
It looks like they're kind of moving
Yes.
the servitude of passage, from lot to lot, for family ownership. I'm assuming that the residents on that front piece probably didn't give up right of passage servitude.
the front piece.
Yeah,
On
where it
181?
shows owned by Mr. Melvin Cox.
Oh no, he wouldn't, because he's not part of that family, so he didn't give up any. So that's why we have to put it all on
Oh.
there.
So that's why.
Would you
y'all need-
please approach the?
Well, that's why he's saying. That's why he's asking why is it turning. It's because of this other property that is why it's turning
Right,
right,
they're not
there.
giving up servitude.
But the Macalusos, okay, and they own the rest of this.
Yeah, they own the rest of it, so.
Yeah, so they can encroach over here. They can encroach over here, but they couldn't.
Right.
This is the
Right.
picture I took yesterday of it, and it looks like you're changing it from the existing stone road, which is right here.
We're not going to change it. It's not moving.
No, well, you're gonna leave it, then you're putting a new one in.
We just adding it because that's the wish of the Planning Commission.
Okay, you're adding a new one right here.
Oh, okay. I see what you're doing.
Okay, and then
We're not
that's,
moving the road. It's just that
I see what you're
Not moving the
that's not what
road.
you have down here.
I know.
That's not what you had down here, though.
I think what's happening here is that, they need to have access servitude to the rear properties, and the driveway is just on the property line. Well, they can't get right of passage servitude from the person that owns the front property because they're not in the family. They don't want to give up servitude, but they still have to have a certain amount of servitude by rule of the parish. So they're going to put it all on this first property and then split the difference as
Even
it
though
gets
it looks
to the
straight,
property.
they may not want it straight. Like, in other words, there may be an argument between this Melvin Cox and this other person that now wants the road off the property.
Which is possible,
Yeah.
because it's only a temporary.
But then why is it an offsetting it? If that's the case, then why not it just go straight on to the road? Just leave if you see what I'm saying, where it says the existing Lime Drive, the 12-foot existing Lime Drive, it goes straight on all the way to the highway. And then look like they're leaving that there, but then they're going to step over and make one that's going to go, which encumbers the house into servitude. It's actually in the 12-foot utility servitude it's in the building servitude, building setback line, and then it goes back to the property line again. And I have some pictures here if you'd like to see what I'm talking about. In other words, if they were to just bring it straight on out without making the offset alongside the existing limestone road, then it would not enter into the house.
Isn't there a minimum?
They have-
width
Well, yeah, it'll
of
still enter
servitude?
into the house. So you can't go on this property here. It'd still enter the house. Yeah.
My question is, ma'am, is this. You see, you have an existing line
Additional?
road that's going in right here.
Passage.
But that's not what you have here. You're showing a new passage right here, coming in right here, and you turn it.
This is where the existing servitude of passage is.
No, ma'am. Here is a pic.
It's the existing servitude of passage, not the road. Now, the driveway is straight.
Yeah.
So where the actual
Passage.
servitude of passage, this is existing, and it turns like that.
So in other words, you're saying they didn't build it from the original?
No, that's what I'm saying, it's a temp road.
When a 12-foot limestone drive is never going to be turned into a blacktop without the passage and everything, if that's what they're trying to do.
Existing servitude of passage, the planning commission said, we need additional 20 feet. So we just line it up here,
Yeah.
they're never gonna use it, but they won't.
That's what he's-
So in other words, this has already been approved, this point right.
This has already been approved right here, so they wanted an additional 20 feet. If we dedicate an additional 20 feet, then the 25-foot building line has to come off of the new.
Yeah.
It's not moving.
Okay, here's the additional 20 feet.
Again, this
Okay.
is,
That's very, very,
Any additional questions?
nope.
I have none. We're only talking 5.5 feet.
Right.
You want to stay quiet this one too?
No, I'm gonna make a motion to accept as
Well, I
written.
got to open public hearing first.
Okay, well,
Open public hearing.
Oh, yeah. See, you wasted that.
Anybody would like to speak on this variance? Please come up to the podium. Since no one's coming, closing public hearing. Now I can take a motion.
Okay, Ty.
so move. Accept as written.
Second.
A motion from Mr. Tyler Glue to approve is written, second by Mr. Bill Lee. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Thank you. Okay.
I know, but if it's a temp
Last
road,
zoning review. Last zoning review ID 2073.10 for Ronald J. Parr Properties for Ronald J. Parr. Located on the south side of LA 74, approximately 200 feet west of Babin Road.
Wasn't right. For a 71-year-old guy from
I'm Ronald Bennett with R.L. Bennett Engineers, representing
This thing.
Mr. Parr.
Okay.
He's wanting to give his daughter, she lives in the house that we're cutting a piece of property out. She's been living there on the RJP2. And we're going to be doing a family partition. We're doing a 40-foot private servitude of passage from 74 coming in and on top of a existing 18-foot gravel driveway into the line, which goes across a bridge which crosses the canal. We're asking for a variance. He's got some apartments on the east side of the property line that were
Gotcha.
built in 76. And we're asking for, it encroaches over the 35-foot building line. We're asking for a variance We're not asking for a variance to reduce it, but either just to stop it at the servitude of access. And also, the 12-foot utility servitude falls inside the existing apartments, probably about a foot and a half. And all the utilities that exist out there fall either within 3 feet inside the property or in the right-of-way. So if we could get a 10-foot to clear the building.
Well, no, we can't do anything on servitudes.
Okay.
That has to be revoked by the parish council.
All right. So we're just asking for the building line? All right. And we're just going for the building line?
The building lines?
Yes, sir.
Now, is this variance just for a family partition, or is it for future development?
No, it's for family partition. Yeah, he's got his daughter, the piece that we're cutting out, his daughter, Yolanda, lives there, her and her husband. And his other son lives in the other house with the other little bridge.
That's at lot RJP-2?
Yes, sir, that's Yolanda and her husband, Mr. Parr's daughter.
So is this just kind of cleaning up this map, basically? I mean, there's not anything else being put on it, it's just cleaning it.
No, sir. It's just cleanup. There's existing
Yeah,
dwellings
something-
out there that family members live on, and what he's doing is he wants to give the property to his kids. And in order to do that, there are issues, I guess, with the existing structures. So what he's doing is he's asking for a variance for those existing structures that are inside the building line.
So they're not really building anything with
No,
this.
sir.
They're just
Correct.
trying to
No, he's
get
just
it
trying to
split,
clear this
so,
up.
in the
Yes, sir.
property
And
lines.
what it is that the planning commission planning commission staff is not going to sign anything with nonconformities on it until they get those nonconformities straight through the Board of Adjustment. So that's why we're seeing a lot of these variances coming through. So.
A whole bunch of them today.
Lance, I have a question. He's asking for variances on the building line, 35-foot building line, and the 12.6 building line, the 12.5 building line on the side. What about the existing workshop that's intruding in the servitude, 25-foot servitude for the canal?
Well, we're not gonna, you cannot grant variances for servitudes, just like Brad just.
Servitude, so that's what I'm saying.
But
that is a servitude.
That's correct.
Okay,
And we're not
that was my
discussing
question.
that. We're not going to discuss that.
Having the
Yes.
utility
Yeah.
all moved and
Right.
shed
Right.
moved at this time.
Yeah, we can't even.
No, I realize that. I just want to make sure that those are 25-foot servitudes.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions?
I have no further questions.
An open public hearing for this variance. If there's anybody that'd like to come up and speak on this variance, please come up to the front. Considering there's not too many people in the audience at this time, we'll go ahead and close public hearing. Do I hear a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to, as written, to grant the request as written.
Okay.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Milton to grant as written. Seconded by Mr. Tyler Glue. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? Motion passes.
Thank you all. Have a nice evening.
All right. Would you either stay here all night or something?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Milton Cluott to adjourn. Second by Mr. Bill Lee. All those in favor?
Aye.
We adjourn.